So, hey everyone, my name is Ahmed and this is the Starlighters. Today's video will be on the first impression on Linux Mint 20, which will be named Ulyana or Olina. I don't know how to spell it. And actually, I am using the Cinnamon edition on my PC. As you know, there are other editions that are Mate and the XFC edition, but what we are going to use here is the Cinnamon edition. And before jumping into the desktop, I want to tell you about the installing process. So I simply went to linuxmint.com. I downloaded the torrent and I just installed it. I burned it to a flash. I booted my PC and just install the operating system. It was a very easy process, but I have only one small tip for you. When you want to download the operating system, don't use the direct download, the usual download. Use a torrent download, especially if your connection speed is low, because if you use the direct download you may face problems. There will be missing files and all of this headache will be gone if you just use a torrent download. So it is very beautiful till now. I am not a long-term Linux user. I just started using Linux for a few weeks ago. I started using Ubuntu, and this is my first time with Linux Mint. So let's jump now into the desktop. So as you see, guys, when you start your first booting up with Linux, after you completing your installment, you will have this welcome screen, and actually they are welcoming you to the Linux Mint and hoping that you will enjoy it. And moving to the next tab, you will see that they provide you with a number of settings, of essential settings that you may want to change or to just modify them as you want. So they provide you with the color setting. They provide you with this very beautiful dark mode. You can so change between the bright mode and the dark mode, and I really like this. I prefer the dark mode, so I will set it on the dark mode. And you can change the panel layout. You can choose this one, or you can choose, it will change all your PC, or you can choose the modern one. I prefer the modern, so I will keep it on the modern one. And actually you can other important thing that you will start with is the system snapshots, and this is actually a very important setting, and you need to set this up because if anything crashes down in your operating system, you can simply go back to the previous snapshots that were taken by the program, and your system will load up normally because everything is saved in the snapshot. So you may want to set up this. The other thing that will be shown here is the driver manager, and actually this is one of the most beautiful things about all Linux distributions, not only the Linux Mint, that almost every driver is pre-installed with the operating system. So you needn't to install any drivers because the operating system will recognize your devices. It is just as simple as that. But the only problem you may face is with some devices that uses the proprietary drivers, just like the NVIDIA display cards, and in this case you will need to download the proprietary drivers. But for most devices you don't need to download anything, and anything will work just out of the box. Another important thing here is the update manager. So all your updates, security updates, and any kind of updates you need to your operating system will be available here. The system settings are actually also available, but I don't want to change any of them. And you have the software manager. Actually, it is a very beautiful thing in Linux Mint, and although Linux Mint is built on Ubuntu, the Linux Mint team decided not to make the Snap Store available by default on the Linux Mint because it is a closed source store, and a lot of people didn't like this about Ubuntu, that they force the users, the Ubuntu users, to have the Snap Store. And even if you remove the Snap Store from your Ubuntu, it will reinstall on its own. So at Linux Mint, they solved this problem. They didn't make it available by default. You can install the Snap Store if you want manually, but you are not forced to. And this is a very beautiful thing. So you can simply launch the software manager, and you can download pretty much any app you want that is available for Linux. As they say, there is about 60,000 apps. So you can simply go here and write the name of any app you want. Let's say, for example, the Telegram, and it will show the repositories, and it will show it to you. So sorry, I should write it like this. So you can just open it, download it, and that's it. So the apps here, some of them are available from the repository of the package manager, and some of them are available from other repositories like the Flatpak manager, the Flatpak app store, and you can simply download them. And this is one of the beautiful things about Linux Mint, that you have Flatpak pre-installed with the operation system, so you need them to go and install your Flatpak, just like what you have to do with Ubuntu. You have to go to the terminal and install the Flatpak. Here everything is pre-installed and easy, and they even attached the Flatpak to the FlatHub remote, so everything is pre-installed for you. So this is it for the software manager. You have a lot of software here. You have a lot of categories. They are categorized, and this is very beautiful thing. You have one of the things that you have here is the fonts. Actually, I need this one, so I may install it because I need it. So they want the password, so I will just provide it. So this package actually that I'm installing is the TTF and Microsoft Core fonts, because some of the fonts that are available in Microsoft Windows are not available on Ubuntu. So you may want to install these. So I'm not going to use this right now because I don't want to waste time on this. So for example, the time in euro money, you can just use this package and it will be available for you. And other things that are available are a lot of other programs. You have the Wine here, Wine, which is a compatibility tool that will enable you to use your your Windows exclusive apps on Linux. If you have such an app, for example, the Adobe Acrobat, you can simply install Wine, and in this case you will be able to open your Adobe Acrobat. So this is for the Wine, and there are a lot of other apps. So that's it for the software manager, and it is very helpful app actually. So there is an active operation, so I will just keep it completely blank. So another thing that is available is the firewall. I'm not going to change any settings of that, and here you can see the documentations, the new features, these notes, all of these features are here. You can, if you need any help, you can go to search the forums, or you can simply go to a chat room, the IRC chat room, and they will help you. There is a very large community of Linux Mint, so whenever you have any problem, you will simply find a solution, and you can contribute to the Linux Mint. And that's it for this one. So we can close it here, and this is the desktop of Linux Mint. It looks similar to that of Windows, so if you want something that is not completely new and you want something that makes you feel familiar with it, Linux Mint is a good choice actually. It have a really nice desktop that is neat and easy. There are not a lot of elements, and it looks like that of Windows. So you can see here that here is the computer, here is the home directory that you can go to all of your other directories from, and these are the files of the in the home directory, and this is the Linux Mint logo, and here you can see the taskbar. It looks like that of Windows. You can see here that you have these toggles of some tools like the battery, the um, volume, the Wi-Fi, and etc. And here you can find a number of apps that are provided. You have the desktop, your file manager, your terminal, and all of these things. Other thing is the start menu. So your start menu, or they just call it menu in Linux Mint. So this is your menu. You have a number of things here. So this is a number of essential options you have here, like the Mozilla Firefox, which is pre-installed on Ubuntu 2. You have the software manager, which we saw already, and you have the system settings, you have the terminal, and the files, the file manager, and these are the other options for system. And here you can find your apps. They are categorized in a very beautiful way. You can see all applications, or you can go to them by categories, like all accessories, graphics, internet apps, or Office apps. So you have these pre-installed on your Linux Mint. You have the LibreOffice, which is has a lot of feature, and for me, I believe that LibreOffice is good enough. It does everything I need from it. And you may need for little customizations if you wanted to do more for you. So that's it for the apps, and you can here search for any app you want. So let's say, for example, that we want to search for example, for Bluetooth. So you need to write Bluetooth, and it will get you the Bluetooth, and that's it. It's too easy. It's very easy. For example, you are searching the Firefox, so this is the Firefox, so it's very easy. There is a note about Firefox that I need to tell you, that in Firefox you will not have Google Chrome available by default, so you may need to because Google doesn't fund Linux Mint team, so they did not put the search engine by default in their Firefox, so you will need to go to the preferences, and then go to the search, and then go to the find more search engines, and there you are going to the other engines, choosing Google, and then clicking here in order to add Google to your search engines. So if you want Google as your search engine, you should do this. And if you don't need it, you can simply just do your work with, for example, any other search engine that is available by default. For example, I'm using here the DuckDuckGo, and it works for me. So this is just a side note on Firefox. And other thing here that is actually you needn't to use it, but some people, some Linux users like it, which is the terminal. Terminal here is available, and I really like terminal. I didn't start using Linux for a long period of time. I'm just I started using it for about 3 weeks, and it was mainly Ubuntu. I just started using Linux Mint yesterday. So, but terminal is one of the things that I liked about Linux. So you can simply do anything you want using the terminal. And one of the things that I will recommend for you whenever you start your Linux, the first thing that you should do after installing Linux, if you are using a laptop, is installing a tool that is named TLP, because Linux operating system is known for consuming a large amount of battery, and in order to decrease that consumption, you need to use this tool. because it will decrease the consumption of power. So all you need to do is going to your terminal and writing sudo apt install TLP, and then you will press enter. It will install TLP, and then after you install TLP, I'm not going to press enter because I've already installed it. After you installing TLP, you should just write sudo TLP start, and that's it. Everything will work, and your battery will not be consumed as much as it will do without the use of TLP. So this is a very important thing that you should do when you start using Linux on your laptop, whatever distribution you are using of Linux. So that's it for that. And if you want to search for an app using the terminal, you can simply just do this command apt cache search. For example, we want to look for GIMP, which is a program that is alternative to Photoshop and can do a lot of image editing, and it is completely free. So you can just do apt cache search GIMP, and it will find any packages that are related to your search entity, and you can just browse through them. And when you find the one you want, which is this one, the GIMP image manipulation program, so you can just copy the name of the package you want and just write sudo apt install and just paste it. So paste GIMP, enter, and write your password. And it will start installing. So it is a very simple process. It is very simple and very beautiful. So that's it for that. Actually, I don't want to install GIMP, so I can say just Control and C, and it will cancel the process. It is just as simple as that. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope that you like the Linux Mint and give it a try. You may like it. Thank you for watching this video. See you in another video. This was Ahmed, and this is the Star Writers. See you in another video.